Hey folks, welcome back to EXMO's Crypto News Roundup, and in this week's episode, we're going to cover a lot of stuff in the crypto space besides Bitcoin, because in last week's episode, it was all about Bitcoin, and this week, I want to catch you up on the other altcoins and notable blockchain projects in a bite-sized fashion. So before we get going, as always, if you like these bite-sized updates, then please subscribe down below to catch future ones, and let's dive right in. Okay, so number one is Facebook's coin, which you might have heard of before, called Libra, has rebranded to Diem in anticipation of a launch in 2021. Now, this is really interesting because they wanted to distance themselves from the original Facebook-led vision to make it more amenable to regulators around the world. So they rebranded themselves called Diem, and they have 27 member firms right now, and will put out a single dollar pegged stablecoin instead of a basket of currencies like they were planning on doing before. They also had finalized its leadership team. And if you remember, back in 2019, that's when Facebook announced Libra, and it prompted a lot of backlash from regulators all around the world, not only in the US and Europe and so forth. And essentially, they made them cease development until they could get a better grasp on it. And now they have made some changes to make it better and more acceptable, like distancing itself from Facebook, rebranding from Libra to Diem, and then Calibra, the wallet, to Novi, but that's still a subsidiary of Facebook. So they're more welcoming to an autonomous association, right? So that's why they made these changes. A revised white paper also reduced Facebook's role, even though they will play a key part in the creation of various aspects, but they have no special rights. Their first stablecoin is going to be called the Diem dollar, and it's going to be licensed through the Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority, or FINMA. And so it's going to be compliant from a protocol level, and it does still use a blockchain, though. Two of the first primary use cases they want to target are international remittances and merchant payments. And this has a wide range of possible paths in the future because they're starting with this single currency stablecoin, but they might issue a multi-currency stablecoin like a basket in the future. It's going to be programmable money, right? So flexible in the first place. Next up, I want to talk about Tether, and this is something that has quite a bit of conspiracy and drama around it in the crypto space. People saying that Tether is used to manipulate Bitcoin, and especially because Bitcoin has been rocketing lately, and Tether's supply has also swelled by over $1 billion, and that's pretty much essentially 1 billion USDT in over 9 days. It has really surged, and that could just be because that's under demand. And so when people look to Bitfinex and Tether to get more stablecoins to buy Bitcoin with, that's maybe why they mint these tethers, right? Rapid rise in the past week or so marks the second fastest expansion of the Tether supply in its history. And I do want to note that Tether has burn tokens too as people sell it and demand decreases per se. And so here's a chart of Tether's market cap, and you can see this bump right here. It has the fourth highest market capitalization of any cryptocurrency. These stablecoins are really good on-ramps to the crypto markets. Like I was saying, you can buy these and then use it to buy Bitcoin and then go back into stablecoins without having to sell into fiat. These are supposedly backed by real US dollar reserves, but they've never been open to a full and legit audit. And Bloomberg reported that Tether's USDT was pegged only about 74% in terms of its total supply to actual cash and other assets like short-term securities. So this is interesting to follow along, and Tether still remains the dominant stablecoin in the industry, accounting for over 3/4 of the whole stablecoin market cap, even though we do have other ones on the rise like USDC, for example. Next up, XRP led November's huge bull run, especially in terms of the altcoin market, with a 169% gain, and this is enormous. They rose to 21 billion in total market cap and was the biggest gainers in terms of the larger cap assets per se, followed by Stellar and then Dash and then Ethereum, Litecoin, and so forth. This may have been sparked by a looming airdrop of free Spark tokens to anyone who holds XRP. I know people in other communities, I heard them asking about this, so that is what that potentially caused this pump. But another reason might be because when newbies come in, they can't afford a whole Bitcoin, right? So they're like, hey, XRP, Ripple is only a few cents. We can buy way more of those. We can buy 2,000 Ripples and not even afford a whole Bitcoin yet, right? So that might be investor psychology at play as well. And lastly, another project, Ethereum 2.0 is a go. The Genesis block of the Beacon chain comes to existence. And this is one step in their roadmap, a pretty big step. So that's exciting to see. It came just after 12 p.m. UTC on December 1st. The launch suffered no hiccups and really quickly reached the required stake participation to finalize the blockchain. Vitalik also joked how the first block didn't include any profound messages about mankind or like Satoshi's message about the Chancellor bailout. Instead, it just said Mr. F was here. So whoever staked that was just saying, hey, I was here. That's pretty funny. And so this is very important for Ethereum's multi-year move from proof of work to proof of stake. And now you can stake things in this Beacon chain. And currently staked ETH will likely be locked up until phase 1.5 of Ethereum 2.0, maybe a whole year from now. So that is when the Ethereum mainnet merges with the new Beacon chain and sharding system. But the whole ETH 2.0 process should last multi-year, and this may be a boon for Ethereum price too, since the Ether started the year at 130 and now just went over 600 at its highest peak near the end of 2020. So that's awesome. And let me know what you think about this week's crypto news roundup. We've talked about Libra becoming DM, Tether, XRP, Ether. Like I said, it's going to be about other projects besides Bitcoin this week because last week's episode was all Bitcoin. So I appreciate you for joining me. Please like this video, subscribe if you want to be caught up to speed in the future, and I'll see you guys next time.